Alpha 4 is here, the new Microsoft Flight Simulator. Stick around for the rest of this video and we'll talk about everything that was included with the new Alpha build. Also, we'll tell you how you can get your Alpha invite. Before I do, I just want to talk about the new upcoming 3rd edition of the FS Elite magazine. This one is going to be our best issue yet, and whilst we put the finishing touches on the magazine, I wanted to show you the quality from our previous issue. Each page is printed on super high quality premium paper stock, using 170 GSM paper for the inner pages and premium 300 GSM for the front cover. This is much more akin to a brochure than your usual magazine. Issue 3 is jam-packed full of timeless original content where you can perfect your landing skills with our tips and tricks guides, community interviews with real-world pilots and YouTubers, and much more. Now, for those who are more interested in Microsoft Flight Simulator, then great news. This issue is packed with everything you need to know about the new sim, from the included default aircraft all the way up into the third-party developers who have already confirmed exactly what products they're bringing to this sim. Everything you'd need to know can be found in this magazine, so order it today. Now, if you're watching this before June 15th, use the code MSFS to get 15% off. Now back to all about the Microsoft Flight Simulator Alpha 4. In their blog update today, they talked about how Alpha 4 has been released to all of the insider alpha testers. Alpha 4 sees a number of improvements, with one of the most notable improvements to the displays in the 747. The display should be much more accurate, as well as improvements to the visuals. There were some system updates as well for both the 747 and the A320. This is in particular to the V-Speed improvements and should have noticeable improvements to flight response, performance, controls, and overall predictability. In other news, the TBM 930 also got a complete update as well based on user feedback. Now, when we look at the full changelog, it also talks about how there have been universal improvements to the flight modelling. With this update, the team said they are happy to inform you that the flight model updates have been applied to all aircraft. They have made these changes to the aerodynamics for both the vertical and horizontal tail to make them behave much more like the real thing. This changes everything about the modelling behaviour and did require some overall adjustments to the plane. The expected result is now we get a much more realistic elevator and rudder authority curves. Along with that, they've also improved the weight and balance settings for all aircraft, and also they have improved things such as the pitch, the yaw, and also the stall behaviour for all aircraft. Another big change was the improvements to the camera system. So they've now added inputs to allow you to control the cockpit backwards and forwards using the arrow keys, as well as right click to drag, and it gives you a lot more feedback when you look around. Along with the camera and also the aerodynamic improvements, there has been plenty of community fixes and feedback. For example, airport issues for different airports have also been amended, and there have been a lot of changes in terms of plane specific improvements. So as we mentioned, things such as the aerodynamics have now changed, but now also the A320neo has a new auto thrust pitch issue fixed, improvements to the Bonanza's G36, the Cessna 152, and as mentioned again, the TBM 930. In terms of the airports, various taxiway logic and visual markers have been added, parking areas for aircraft have been updated, and overall some general visual improvements have been included for more than 12,000 airports in the sim. Now, there have been a few other bug fixes and quality of life improvements which I won't go into too much detail, but just to let you know that elements such as the stability, airports, audio, camera controls, performance, and the UI itself have all been improved. Now, there are still some known issues, such as when the A320, the flight director is not working correctly without autopilot engaged, and also the Boeing 747, when taking off from large airports and using autopilot, it may result in the plane crashing. Not great news in a Microsoft flight sim. The point is, this new alpha is the next step in trying to get this product released into the hands of everybody who is anticipating the new Microsoft flight sim. Now, of course, you're still wondering, how do I get an alpha invite? The simple answer to that is simply head over to their website and participate in the alpha, and fingers crossed you get an email. Now, email invites are still going out, so do keep your eye on your inbox, and hopefully, fingers crossed, you will be invited to participate in the alpha for the new Microsoft Flight Simulator. Now, alongside Alpha 4, there was a partnership update today from Metro Blue, and Metro Blue will be talking all about how they are providing the real-time weather data for the simulator. In the 8-minute video, they talk everything about why the weather is such an important factor in terms of flying, and how that data is then transcoded into the simulator and then represented for everybody here. Alongside that, the SDK has also seen some improvements, and there's going to be a lot more information about that coming soon. However, they did say that they are already working on aerial images overriding the terrain, projected meshes on the ground, vegetation, biomes overriding, and much more. Now, they are continuing to work on things such as the WebAssembly, SimConnect, and HTML-based UI and aircraft instruments, and they're going to give those things a lot more attention, so enable developers to help them. Now, of course, we already know some third-party developers have confirmed they are working on things for the new Microsoft Flight Simulator, and again, you can read all about that in the upcoming issue 3 of the FS Elite magazine. That about wraps it up for this week's update. Thank you very much for watching. Very soon we're going to publish a video all about the new UI, the user interface for Microsoft's Flight Simulator, so stick around, make sure you subscribe to FS Elite, and make sure you hit the notification bell as well so you know exactly when we release that video. But for now, thank you for watching, and we'll speak to you again very soon.